Hey everyone. So this was not on my agenda for today, but I woke up this morning and I picked up my phone and, started scrolling through, and I saw the most disturbing story on Law and Crime about a stepdad who was HIV positive and doing unmentionable things to his stepdaughter, and it turned my stomach. Fortunately, he's arrested and all that, but I think most of you understand. Then I was watching some cases, and I'm watching Judge Stevens, and there's another stepfather or boyfriend or whatever. And I'm not sure which one's worse. This one is absolutely horrifically disturbing. What he did to these children, I think he should be castrated, and are firing squads still one of the options in Texas? If not, they should be. Anyways, so he's in front of Judge Stevens for a bond motion, and Judge Stevens does not hold his tongue. He goes through and tells you exactly what every picture shows. And not only did this man distribute these pictures, he created them. He is the star of his own sick show, I think is what Judge Stevens said, something along those lines. Disgusting, disgusting. And it's a bond motion because he's wanted by a different county. Why? Because back in April, he was arrested over there for 3 different charges that were worse than what he's arrested on here. And they let him out on bond. He got 2 $35,000 bonds and a $10,000 bond for his 3 charges over there. It was continuous abuse under 14, 2 charges of that, and 1 charge of, there's the third one, performance by a child to produce, direct, and promote. Like, what? WTF? Why do we even need this? What is wrong with people? And that was $10,000. So $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. So we had to put up $8,000 to get out. And he got out. And he poof. Why? Because he's a piece of garbage. Doesn't deserve to be enjoying this air that we breathe. I hate being censored. Can I tell you how much I hate being censored? Anyways, so now they got him and they're trying to put a bond on him that he can't get out again. I am going to try and censor this as much as possible, but if you have ever been triggered by anything in your life, I would highly suggest you just change the channel now, because this is going to mess you up. This is horrible, and yeah, this guy's trash. Trash. For the record, why am I doing this? When I hate it so much, it makes my skin crawl, because this is the world we live in. This is the effed up world we live in. It is disgusting and gross and vile, and this is life. This is reality. These are the people who could be our neighbors, and we don't know. And it's messed up. And sometimes we need a dose of reality to remember that everything's not rainbows and unicorns and freaking glitter, I guess. Ugh.
Mayor, are you? This is Robert. Tell me, what is this?
It's a bench warrant from Tarrant County. They're asking for him.
Did you know that?
I had known this, but
Make
it
it-
surprised me because I knew that
All
was
right, make a copy of this, please, and 2 copies for the defendant. There's a bench warrant.
Yes, sure.
For Tarrant County.
Yeah. So that's what we were wanting to do, is the Tarrant County taken care of first, and whatever happens there will resolve these cases.
Yeah, but I was,
Oh, I know, because we had him in our senior course position.
are these all 3rd-degree felons?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
And
I believe, right, son? Yes. Speak out of time.
we call 23-41491 through 1500, which are going to be 10 cases. Yeah, 10 cases in numerical sequence, all alleging in the indictments, third-degree felonies of illegal possession of child pornography. And you were Robert Pascal Taylor?
Yes, sir.
Are these all the same day, on or about the same day?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Was this one you gave me, or is this one you have?
I gave that to you, Judge. I have a
have-
copy of myself.
There's two, one for you. The client, there's a probable cause affidavit here that was filed in these cases. Hundreds of images of child. 10 were selected for individual indictment purposes. Have you seen these? Have you
The-
looked at this?
The images?
Yes.
Yes, I know what they
What
look like.
about, what is the age of the child?
Judge, this is
Apparently.
the apparent age of the child in most of the videos is probably about 13, 12. It's his own daughter.
Whose? This man's?
Or stepdaughter, something. The underlying complainant in those Fort Worth cases.
Okay,
Whoever,
let's not be coy with the court, Mr. Taylor. Is it is this alleging that the person depicted, same child,
yes, sir.
same child depicted is someone you know or related to in some way, shape or form?
I don't know. I don't get, I mean, I know what my charges are, but I never saw what the pictures were.
Have you shown him anything?
Did I show the pictures? Show me showing the pictures right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want quickly, we
Yeah.
have,
Judge, I don't have the pictures here and they're not entitled to have them, a copy of them in discovery.
Yeah,
They have to come to our office to view those.
Yeah, and he's in jail.
okay,
so I can't
this
show
is just for the purposes of identifying who the is. He says he doesn't know if there's something you have that can, I don't want the name, I just want to know what you contend, you have proof that shows the relationship with this person, that's all.
1 second, Judge. These two names right here.
This next roommate's kid, John.
Okay, these are
Alleged.
various children.
That's alleged victims in the case.
The victims
Yes.
were the allegedly the defendant's former roommate's children,
Yeah.
children of the former roommate.
Yes.
Each of these allegations are, of course, despicable in nature because it shows, according to these probable cause affidavit, out of the hundreds of images of material, the 10 that were used in each of these indictments include the appearance of an adult, another similar image, adult male penis in the child's, another with the holding the male an image of the male inserted into the child's Another image of the um, males in the another image of the adult going into the child's, and then another image of um, uh, the images of the male adult in these. Who do we know who that is?
Judge, they've been connected back through through the Arlington Police Department's investigation and through Beaumont Police Department's investigation to be this individual, this defendant.
Okay, that's what you're contending is not only is or the images showing child that were in the possession in these indictments of the defendant, but you were contending that it's the defendant who is pictured as the adult in these acts.
Defendant's face can be seen in the surrounding areas of his room and in the environment that he lived in can be seen. And then also there were CAC interviews done of the two children, and they both identified him.
There were two children.
Yes, sir.
More than one. All right. The bonds are how much?
25,000 each for all 10 cases, and there are no conditions either. JP did these originally.
Judge, I honestly, I think
What's he saying?
I think that if the court is going to be willing to let the other court, the criminal district court number 2 in Tarrant County take him, that the ideal thing would be to revoke his bond so that he's accruing time here and have no bond.
Say that again.
He's not on bond here with us.
Right, he's not allowed.
Right. So
Just
remove his bond so that he's accruing time.
Okay, what are y'all wanting, state?
Judge, I think that the thing that we want is for him to be tried in Tarrant County for continued, which is what they want him for.
Thus, how this court has seen enough that it's most disturbing, to say the least, and it is the type of conduct and the type of allegations which the law provides for some of the most punitive bond conditions and bond amounts. But what is it you're asking through the state and through prosecution that you want me to do? Because my impulse is to hearing what this, reading the probable cause affidavit, reading the indictments, and listening to what the contention is from the state, is my impulse is the magistrate certainly must not have been aware that the state was contending that the child had a relationship to this man, and this man is believed to be the male who's
I wholeheartedly agree that the bond amounts here in your court are not adequate.
okay. Well, I didn't set them, and I certainly wouldn't have set them at that amount, knowing what they are, knowing what the circumstances are. So what are you asking the court to do here? What should we do? According to the state, and then I'll listen to what the defense says.
Either, Judge, what are they currently? 20, 25 each?
10, that's 250. But
I mean, honestly,
everybody knows what I think, what I've always stated about these types of cases. When a child is victimized in that way, then he has very high bonds. But if the images are being created by the actor who happens to be the defendant, and he is not only producing it, but he is the lead actor, male actor in this perverted video production. Then it becomes more punitive.
Well, and Judge, I think that somewhere between 75,000 and 100,000 per case bond amount would be much more appropriate given what we know about the case. And in addition, I think that if he is bench warranted to Tarrant County, I think from our perspective, we would want to do something that would ensure that there would be no circumstance where if something happened in Tarrant County, he would not be brought back here first.
Your Honor, our position is that if Tarrant County wants them, then obviously we can't stop that. If it's resolved in Tarrant County, if he's found guilty in Tarrant County, then what we can do here to him is nothing compared to what the minimum is
Talking
there.
about the bond here, that's all.
I know, I'm
What are you? You're leading up to
I'm
it.
leading up to that, Your Honor. I'm leading up to that.
Yeah,
And then if he is found not guilty up there or it gets dismissed, then we can bring it back and try this. In the meantime, Your Honor, right now the bond said 25,000 each. That's $250,000. That, and I understand the court's position, if it was one charge, yes, $25,000 is not a lot for one charge of this, and I understand that. But we're talking about $250,000. So our position is that the bond should be lowered to maybe something in the range of 10 to 15,000, which is because of the amount, the overall amount. It's 10 cases. It's still $100,000, Your Honor, which is if it was one case would be well sufficient to hold that.
well, let's talk about, I know where you're coming from, Michael. Article 17.15 are the rules for setting amount of bond under the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. That's our guiding light here. Number one, the nature of the offense and the circumstances under which the offense was committed are to be considered, including whether an offense involving violence as defined in 1703. But we all know inherently within the nature and the spirit of these rules, when we're talking about the circumstances of an offense, who thinks that the sexual abuse of a child is not of the most serious nature? Nobody does. We all do. We all think it is most serious. So the nature of the offense is extreme. Here, not only is the man possessing of two victims, but it's someone he knows. They're people he knew. And according to states, he is the participant in the videos, the or his, according to the state. So the bonds, I agree, are not enough. And I'm sure the magistrate did not know some of these facts. So I am going to follow what the recommendation is from the state, $100,000 on each case.
Your Honor, before you make this, I would like my chance for my client to speak, because I know he's wanted.
Go ahead.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, raise your right hand.
Chance to.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And Dennis, would you please tell the jury, we're going to need about 10 more minutes, please, and thank them for their patience. Go ahead.
If you want to tell them, Judge, or ask me.
Well, I know I've been accused of this, and I know it's really a severe crime, but
You think?
I know,
No, what, in,
I mean, I just.
how severe would you say such a crime is?
Life changing.
No, I'm not for whom, but certainly for the victims,
Sure.
but would you consider this one of the most horrific type of crimes when innocents are taken away by an adult in a fashion that is then played out by photographs that can be distributed where they will be victimized their whole lives? Would you say that's serious?
I would.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I did not commit these crimes, and I know that been stated against me. I also know I haven't gone to court there, but the judge there even lowered my bond from almost $1 million down to 80,000, allowed me to come home and take care of my mom while I was waiting this. With the condition of reporting to a bond probation officer once a month, and a bond company once a week. But I haven't had any chance to fight this, to prepare a defense, to even, I don't even know half the stuff that's gone on.
Yes, sir. I just read to you what the rules are
Yes, sir.
for setting bond. The presumption of innocence still is the standard. Nobody needs to tell me about that. I wrote the leading article that's been published on that subject matter. Okay, so you're presumed innocent. I know that, but a grand jury says probable cause exists that you did it, that you illegally possessed this pornography. The state's contention is the evidence shows you're the participant in this, and you certainly were connected to the children. You knew them. They lived with someone in the household of a female companion
Yes, sir.
of the defendant. So they contend that not only are you illegally possessing this, but you were the one who manufactured and was the lead actor in this, in the role, as it is apparently the same person
Yes, sir.
as the state states. But these rules for setting bond are the nature of the offense and the circumstances under which it was committed are to be considered. And the presumption of innocence, they know, the legislature knew about the presumption of innocence, and these rules are made for dealing with people before they have been convicted of the crime. But you're just not charged by a complaint. You were charged by a review of a grand jury that determined 9 or more people reviewed the evidence and state probable cause exists that you did it. So they're not just supposing, they're not just guessing. They're using probable cause in making their decisions. And that's why the rules are the way they are. Rules are here to be used before you have been convicted beyond a reasonable doubt. So the presumption of innocence is built into this, but it's built in for a good reason. So that the safety of the community is taken into account when the nature of the offense is so extreme that it is viewed that the defendant may be dangerous to others if released. And along with the statutory determination of rules for setting amount of bonds, case decisions have included aggravating factors of the charged offense can also be used in setting bonds. I don't speak for another magistrate, but I've been doing this for 40 years. And in the federal system, in the state system, and I know what the law states and I know what the court decision states. And this court has a hard time with its vast experience, even thinking of many cases, but few cases exist from my experience that have more serious aggravating factors than what's alleged in this indictment and what the state's position is in their investigation of your involvement with the production of this. And those are the basis for determining bonds. So don't preach to me that one magistrate's decision, whatever they may have used, I don't answer for them. They answer for me and the law. And so it's $100,000 on each bond, on each case. Plus, if you happen to make the bond, you will be confined at home. You must have a GPS device, and you will have no contact, absolutely no contact with any children. Were there any other, if he happens to post a bond, is there any other?
Would you want to limit his access to electronic devices, Judge? Given the nature of the charges?
Well, one of the bond conditions is don't commit further crimes. That's always number one. There's
Pretty
a host
self-evident.
of bond conditions that are normal for everybody. But this would be specific in your case.
I think that is sufficient, Judge.
That is the decision of the court on these. So they're going to bring him back up to Tarrant County?
Yes, sir. I will reach out to that court and at least make a connection between their staff and your staff and
So has he been charged officially? by
yes, sir.
the
Yes.
government?
Yes.
They've got a
So there's a warrant for him?
Yes.
Like you were saying?
Yes, sir.
So,
And that case is
so
pending up
see,
there.
that's another thing is, I'm not sure that we really needed this hearing because with a warrant,
He's gonna go up there.
he's not released. So I think maybe it would have been better to hold this hearing once the people up there decided whether they were going to release him and we had a hold on him. But nonetheless, we did it. And this, based upon what y'all find, if any additional information is learned, let me know and I can change my decisions for the defense or for the state's benefits. But everybody knows what I heard, and none of this is good. And my rulings are based upon the Code of Criminal Procedure.
yes, sir.
Okay, anything else? That's all. Thank you. Here is this.
While I was editing, I actually found some additional information. It seems like the original arrest was back in 2020. I'm not sure how he got released. Since Jefferson County doesn't have their records online, I can't really confirm anything that's going on, but the original arrest was in 2020. These charges came about in 2022. There were several news articles that were talking about this in 2022. And it looks like they brought this just to have a rehearing and increase the bond because he's going to be transferred up to Tarrant County to face those charges. And they want to make sure that if he's released up there, that he comes back to Jefferson in custody and isn't released to go home and continue being a garbage human being. So that's what I got so far. I'll try and keep track of the Tarrant County case.